Hi, I'm Adam and welcome once again to South Wales Ghost Watch. And yeah, we're back on the show and I've got Martin with me once again. My name's Adam. Today we're going to be talking about curses, bad luck and ill fortune. Okay. The first question I want to ask you, Martin, is if someone is cursed, what does that mean exactly?
Well, I could probably spend 5 hours talking about what a curse is.
Oh, we'll fight away.
But
We've got all 10
the first thing about a curse really believes that somebody has placed upon you an ability that you will not succeed and you will have ill fortune and things will go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the idea is that somebody's powerful, somebody is able to influence you, and somebody is able to have an effect that stops you achieving your potential. Mm-hmm. So a curse, therefore, is something that crosses right the way across from the paranormal, right the way across to standard psychological techniques. That it's quite feasible to curse yourself easily psychologically.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also possible to believe that you are cursed. And I have come across some very interesting cases where the psychological has met the parapsychological. A curse, what would a curse be? Now, I said in last week's programme about the big things of love, sex and death.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
A curse is going to be largely concerned with dealing with bad news about one of them, or all of them.
Yes. With the tarot cards, yeah.
Yes, that's right. The idea of a curse on, say, let's talk about death. Somebody gets struck down, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you don't like them, yeah? On a recent election broadcast in the state of Israel, there was one particular political party that were groups of rabbis cursing the other political parties, which I thought was an interesting part of political because I often wonder, what would happen in this country if you could have political parties cursing one another. I wonder. Secondly, the idea of a curse is something that has to have an emotional content that is then imposed upon something else. So, for example, people in a society where having children is important, the inability to have a child threatens so many things. It threatens, particularly in a society where you have to pass land on or whatever, farm, a castle. If that doesn't happen, that family dies out. Yeah?
Yeah.
So what we have concerns about, today, we probably have far more concerns about sexuality and love. And I would suspect that the ultimate fear that people have is not to find love and to sexually fail. So one could almost see the invention of Viagra as a means to prevent sexual curses. I say that quite lightly, but the idea, just because you believe you can't do something, if you believe it strongly enough, it will frequently happen.
Yes.
Yeah. So, if I am able to tell you with vigour that something bad's going to happen to you, and you believe what I say, and I dance around and I raise energy, I'm actually part psychologically affecting you.
Yeah.
I'm part raising energy negatively.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm also making a prediction about your future. So a curse can originate from believing all the people in this family have bad luck about.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll never amount to anything. You're as bad as your father. Yeah. You're a waster like your mother. You'll never amount to anything. Yeah.
Make an emotional wreck, basically.
Yeah. That's a curse.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what we actually do is by raising energy, whether you raise it psychologically, psychically, spiritually, whether you dance or sing, you are raising energy.
Okay.
So most curses have an emotional, they have somebody who is powerful making a prediction about somebody who is not so powerful, and that goes straight in. If I came in to see you every day at work and I shouted out, Adam, you're going to have a bad day.
Yes.
By the 5th or 6th day, yeah,
Yes.
you would begin to feel you were going to have a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Curses are very powerful things if we let them. The very best way to deal with a curse or an attack, psychic attack,
So
is
it's
to laugh.
psychological. It's all in the head, then.
No, it's
No.
not. It's not only in the head. All our life is only in the head. Everything we perceive is only in the head.
Yeah.
Psychic energy is raised in the head and transferred to the body.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So psychology is just one way of explaining how it works.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
There are lots of other traditional ways that you could curse. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, in my political days, yeah, if any of my political opponents had had any accident with curses, I would certainly not be here. But the best way to deal with feelings of curses and bad luck is to laugh and to create psychological and psychic hygiene. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. And traditionally, to have power over people, you had to get something that belonged to them. Hair. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nail clippings. Bodily fluids.
Yeah.
Anything you need, yeah? That's the way you influence people. Yeah?
I see. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a healthy respect for the old ways. I have a very healthy respect for psychological techniques as well. And I know how to get rid of curses both psychologically and in the older ways as well. Sometimes it's been very, very useful. Yeah. So a curse is an ability to make a negative prediction about somebody and to influence them. Gentlemen frequently have problems as they get older about their sex drive, and the more they talk about it with their friends, the more they worry about it, and then they get the curse.
I see. Yes.
I wonder how many people at the last game between England and Wales at Cardiff, at the Millennium Stadium, were actually secretly willing the English team to collapse.
Yeah.
They were doing a bloody good job of it.
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, of course.
You can argue they were cursed.
You can argue they were cursed, yes.
Okay, that's fine. So why would someone become cursed?
Somebody might become cursed in a tribal society where you do not like somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you ask that somebody's oxen be stricken down.
Yes.
In the book of Job, in the Bible, God allows the devil to curse Job and to give him boils and to slay his oxen.
Yeah.
Curses are a means of dealing with people you don't like.
Yes.
And people can always say they have been cursed. But of course, if you go through a whole negative stage of thinking, I am not a lucky person, things I do are going to go wrong, then you do not see the best opportunities. So if you have a husband who bullies his wife, a teacher who bullies their students in the class, a voodoo priest who everybody in the village knows is powerful, who influences, we all have different ways. It's not that psychology explains curses, it's that psychology is one way of explaining the process of cursing.
I see, right. Okay.
Yeah.
How people are influenced.
How people are influenced.
In a negative way. Yeah.
And the way you deal with it is to raise energy. Yeah.
Yes.
You chant. Yeah. You dance.
Yes.
Yeah? You raise energy that dispels negative thoughts. Richard Wiseman, who is a standard materialist psychologist, did some research on good luck and bad luck, and he argued that people who consider themselves lucky saw more opportunities than people who consider themselves unlucky. And they did a standard psychological experiment to prove it. They left £20 notes around, and those people who considered themselves lucky saw the £20 notes.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah.
So, the best way to deal with a curse is to laugh, to dance,
Yeah, I'd be happy.
to be positive, to enjoy support of friends. Yeah, people who believe they're cursed can effectively curse themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In an emotional state. Yeah.
Yeah.
You listen to the anger and frustration of people who have alcohol or drug problems. You're going to hear them. They're going to be shouting at other people, but really that's the inner dialogue in themselves. They're effectively psychologically cursing themselves. They're probably parapsychologically cursing themselves as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have the greatest respect for it, but it's just one way of explaining. So it's not in the head, it's that the method of dealing with these things are everywhere, and the head helps interpret what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what supernatural forces are there that would curse someone?
Well, I have real concern sometimes that people go around seeing demons everywhere. If you think the devil's on your back, a very good way to honour the devil is to keep thinking the devil's there. To keep that there are groups of people out there who are practising strange rites and things like that.
Yes.
Largely I take Plato's point of view, and Plato said nobody does ill or bad with knowingly. They do it because they're damaged.
Yes.
Yeah. The best way to deal with things is to be open, supportive, honour people and whatever. But it's possible all the time to interpret bad behaviour and ill behaviour to other people. I'm very simply of the opinion that when we say stealing is wrong, we're basically saying at one level, I don't want to be stolen from. Yeah. That influence, and most of the things we consider bad are things that have happened to us that we didn't really want to happen to us, and we find it very interesting to condemn in other people. I find it very interesting that the recent Roman Catholic cardinal was going around condemning homosexuality vividly, and what do we discover? He had a gay relationship. We curse the things that we don't like in ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right. Yeah.
So it's always possible to say, the people doing this behind history, there are all these people plotting. Yeah. In 16th century Europe, everything was beginning to go into chaos. So they said, oh yeah, well, that means that there are loads of witches behind the scenes, cursing the state, undermining it. Yeah.
Yeah.
When society becomes insecure, we look for people to blame. It's either Jews, communists, Quakers. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's always these people out there. These are the bad people. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can create our own luck.
Okay.
Yeah, we can create it all the time. The question is, believing we're cursed. The philosopher Nietzsche said, I could only believe in a God who could dance.
Yeah. I mean, we've all got our own hang-ups and insecurities, haven't we?
Of course we have.
Which can cause us to become cursed.
Which are going to become vulnerable, yes, precisely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So the idea is to explore our vulnerabilities, and to maximise, the possibilities.
Oh, I like that. I like the psychological view on that. That's good. So how can a curse be removed? Like you said earlier, with chanting, happy thoughts.
Yeah, happy thoughts. Curses can be removed by removing the object that is. You can either cleanse yourself.
Yeah.
Cleanse the atmosphere around yourself.
Yes.
Send back the curse to the person who sent it at you.
Yes.
Yeah. Because there's an old tradition that if you go around practicing negative things at people, it will come back at you threefold.
Ah, right. Yes.
So you send it back.
So it's karma. The karma plays a
In a sense, yes.
Yeah.
You just don't go around being horrible to people. And it might be possible in certain cultures to learn technically, just as we know about how we can upgrade a piece of software. If somebody believes that having a certain set of plants, which does have an effect, and put together, you can change that by healing.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
But it's all psychic energy.
I see.
It's about raising of power and energy and sending it back to protect.
Okay, that's fine. So there's different types of curses as well. The Hindus use the sage. They use sage
to protect and cleanse. Yeah, I mean, those of you who've watched Harry Potter will understand that people are able to do these things by raising energy when they're upset or happy. And I seem to remember using the idea of Harry Potter, that when you want to protect yourself, you have a Patronus, which is a image of something that protects you. You remember when you were very happy. Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah? So different cultures will do things in different ways. A Chinese curse is, may you live in interesting times.
Yes.
Yeah, that's because the Chinese traditionally believe in stability and comfort. And if you live in a time of great change, then you are technically being cursed.
Okay.
Yeah. I think by that makes our last budget that George Osborne put together a curse on all of us, by that sort of definition. But of course I'm only joking about that. But it depends how the curse is actually used. Christians might say that, some Christians would say that being cursed is about taking the name of God in vain. That would be something that would be blasphemous, that would lead to punishments.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The ideas in the Buddhists would be the idea that nobody's cursed, you just learn to live better.
Yes.
And you deal with it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have negative, malevolent beings going for you, a very effective way would therefore be cursed by if people were writing horrid things on your Facebook page. Yeah?
Yeah, that would be so bad. Yeah.
Let's not say that we're explaining these away, but what we're saying is there are many different forms of curses in many different ages, in many different forms that can strike at people.
Yes, yeah.
Because really, quite frankly, if it was a situation where people believed, if you were a politician, you have to be fairly tough-skinned and believe in yourself. Otherwise, just think how many people from the other party would curse you.
Yeah, you can't have doubt on any sort of doubt.
You have to, precisely.
Yeah.
If you believe that you are lucky, you will succeed.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is a cursed object and how can it bring someone bad luck?
A cursed object is technically by putting, well, let's use a particular model. Water,
Yes.
has been shown to respond to chanting, and it mirrors images.
Yes.
Yeah. It would never be technically possible to chant negative things into a cup of water, get the person to drink it,
Yes.
and thereby they theoretically pick up the bad luck.
Okay, yeah.
At the end of every day in my office, when I've been working with people psychologically, they have come and told me all the bad stuff. They've shouted at the chairs, pretending it's somebody. They've shouted at me. I psychically cleanse my office at the end of every day. So it's not attached to me.
I see.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded by negative energy.
That's right.
So you have to look at that makes sense.
I mean, the Romans would have said, eat, drink and make love often. That's a very good way to keep curses away.
Okay, so can we make our own luck? Yeah, you just said we did earlier.
We can make our own luck.
We can make our own luck.
Richard Wiseman, as I said, made that situation where people were asked to see themselves as lucky or unlucky. People who are consider themselves lucky do create the best possible situation. And there is a situation where, if you think you're thinking positive and you somehow do seem to be lucky.
Yes.
You pick up, I need that now.
Yeah.
I need that to be in this particular way. And it works.
Okay.
So, yes, you can be lucky and unlucky. And it's the degree to which you do it.
Okay, so tell me about the Roman goddess Fortuna.
Right, okay. Well, it's the same thing as we might say Lady Luck.
Yes,
St. Christopher, yeah. The idea is that there is an idea that before we are born, we have a fortune of fate. Now, the issue is, for us to make any sense of the reality, we have to understand that we make our fate, but we're given skills and situations If Fortuna says to the Romans, you will be successful and conquer the Gauls, the general goes out and he thinks, yeah, I'm going to do this well, I'm going to conquer the Gauls, and he does. Yeah. The Norse had the three Norns who predicted who wielded our fate. The Greeks had I can't remember what the Greeks had. But there is an idea, I think it is very simple. I don't think there is fate. I think what we have is that between lives, we work out where we buggered up in our past life, and we have to work through karmically what happens. And thereby certain situations will happen that will enable us to be to progress.
Okay.
Yeah. I've noticed that vast numbers of people I know have similar interests as myself, and perhaps we're working through what we've got to do. So it might be that we are just working through it. We have chosen that particular path, that we will bump into those people, and we still have the choice to resolve those things or to bugger them up. And if we don't bugger them up, keep coming back till we do it. So it's not that there's fate, it's just what we need to develop to be our most personal, able person.
Okay, yeah, okay. So it's all a matter of control, it's a matter of being your own person and making your own choices. Yeah?
You have choice.
Okay, so how did the concept of luck become so important in religion, such as the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas?
The Mayans, Aztecs and the Incas were trying to work out what would happen. They had a very cursed belief of the future. They believed if they didn't keep sacrificing and causing blood, the world would fall to pieces. That the sun needed blood, and that eventually they would be defeated. But once the Spanish landed, Cortez, Pizarro, people like that, they decided that the reason they weren't winning was that they needed to kill more people, and more and more people were sacrificed themselves. So the idea of a sacrifice is laying down something to make better things happen. You could consider that the crucifixion of Christ was a sacrifice for the sins of the world, so that people could start again. You see that same thing with Odin in Norse mythology, hanging on the tree. In Buddhism, you see Buddha meditating under the Bodhi tree to deal with things like that. So the problem is sacrifice means different things in different ways to different people. Sacrifice would suggest giving up things for something better to happen.
Okay. So tell me about the Buddhists. You mentioned Buddhism. They don't believe in luck.
They believe in karma.
They believe in karma. Yeah. And the Hindus, what's
they would certainly believe in a similar sort of idea.
Similar sort of
the Buddhist idea of karma is that if you knowingly do wrong, if you do wrong all the time, it will affect you. So you learn to live in a better way, and by learning to live in a better way, you free yourself from karma. If you treat people with respect, you'll free yourself from it.
Okay. Because bad things aren't going to happen back to you because you're treating people with respect.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
So can positive thinking stop us from having bad luck?
Yes, it certainly can.
Okay.
It's interesting to think that if you think positively, I will have the maximum advantages that I can today and do the best I can, you will see far more opportunities than you can. It is interesting that looking at the statistics of trains that crash, planes that crash, they usually have less people on them than those who don't.
Yes, you mentioned that in the previous show.
And I think that what we're learning is to tell there's a bit of probability and a possibility. Of course, there might be a slate might fall on the roof and if it hit me on that end, but it's not going to.
No.
It might, but it's a possibility, it's not a probability. So the idea of thinking positively enables you to
make the right choices.
Make the right choices. Feeling negative is negatively telling fortune teller, is negatively telling the future. Optimism is positively saying the future.
Yes, but if you're pessimistic, you're not going to be disappointed in some cases. If you think something bad's going to happen and something good happens, then...
Yeah, but you're not likely to see as many opportunities.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that's the situation.
Okay, so people who live risky lifestyles,
Yes.
or live life on the edge,
Yes.
are these people more likely to have bad luck or ill fate? People who drink, gamble,
Well,
live life wrongly in other sense.
I have a friend who was able to statistically develop the algorithms for Australian football teams, and he lived very well. How you gambled depends on what information you have.
Yes, yeah.
Naturally, if you do anything to excess that stops you picking up on what's really happening, then it's not going to help you. But there are many boringly well-behaved people who not only breaks either because they never take a chance.
Okay, right.
So the point is, if we make our destiny, we are making possibilities. So it depends what you see as a risk.
Yeah. Okay. So if we live our life like a monk or a nun, we're not going to experience certain possibilities, is it?
Well, a monk or a nun may have some wonderful possibilities.
Yes, yeah.
But they're not going to have much sex and rock and roll, are they?
No, they're not, no.
It depends what they give up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. For whatever. It might be that they have wonderful psychological, psychic healing abilities.
Yes.
But of course, you might also have people who drink too much red wine who might also have that ability as well.
Of course, yes. So does good luck and bad luck balance itself out? Are we likely to have equal measures of both?
Depending on how we are and what opportunities we take and what situations we experience and what we believe about ourselves, we will either have good luck or bad luck. But remember, good luck, the Greeks had a saying, the gods, if we are, the problem is that the gods give us what we ask for. The problem is we didn't really know what we were asking for. That's the problem with it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Martin, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you as always.
Thank you.
And that's all we've got time for today, guys. But thanks for tuning in once again. And it's been like a learning curve for all of us, doing the show, and it's been a pleasure for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But tune in next week for our next week's show. I'm not going to tell you what the subject matter is. We'll surprise you. But thanks very much. Take care. Have a good night.